Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you about DC's summer event, Dark Days. This book is the first part in like a prelude story to the actual event called Dark Knights Metal. Now, this is cool because Scott Snyder is the guy writing this book, along with a guy called James Tynion the fourth, and with art by Jim Lee, Andy Kubert, and John Romita Jr. And the cover is done by Jim Lee. But you can see like this image here. It's from an older book. I think it's from a Justice League issue. It's just basically taken off there and just put on the front because Jim Lee at this point he's one of those artists that got really lazy and he's phoning it in. But sometimes he still does good work. In here there are some cool images. But as for the event, this book has been bubbling for a long time. Scott Snyder has actually come out and said that he's been planting seeds for this event since he started his run on Batman in the New 52. But what you need to know about this event is just that it's just another mystery for Batman to solve, and that in the press releases for the story is that there's like a dark multiverse, and this is also like a prelude to a new imprint that DC wants to start called I think it's called the Dark Universe or the Metal Universe, something like that. But it's basically just an imprint for artists if they want to come on and do a story. So like if Jim Lee wants to do a book, then he can do it there and stuff like that. But anyway, when as you can see with the cover here, it's a nice shiny cover. This is it's like a chrome type of cover. It's quite cool, but the book is quite expensive. It's $4.99, which roughly translates to $80 here in South Africa. But yeah, the cover didn't really catch me all that much. It was like, oh, okay, cool. So there's like a dark universe where Batman is ruling over them, as you can see here with these like Batman spotlights and his like giant statue of people lashed to his legs. It's quite cool. But yeah, either way, I've seen it like a million times from like old X-Men comics, stuff like that. Now, as we start here, we follow this character seemingly back in like Egypt or whatever. The character's name is called Carter Hall. Now, Carter Hall is basically he is Hawkman. Hawkman is this old character from DC Comics, going back all the way to the 1940s. He's always been like almost a staple in DC Comics. He's always been a part of like the JLA or the JSA, the Justice Society of America or the Justice League of America. He's just a guy who there's like his origin is so convoluted. It's not even worth trying to explain. He's either an alien space cop or he's actually an emperor who got magical powers through like a thing called nth metal, which came from space, and this is like illustrating that, where a, a ship from the Thanagarian race, basically these like bird people, fell to Earth and basically empowered the Egyptian civilization. Now we skip to the present where there's like the scientist saying there's something wrong with the Earth's core and he can't get away, and then Batman shows up through the volcano, saying through like this volcano on this island and saying, okay, well, come. The only way to get out is through the volcano. The art here is drawn by Andy Kubert. He's actually very good, but I do feel like his art has suffered lately. It's become very bare. There's not a lot of detail in it anymore. It's not a lot of hard work that he does. I mean, it still looks good. I mean, I still like the artist, but you can see like it's like very simple. It's not as complicated as it used to be. I will do a review on one of the first comics I ever bought soon, to show you just how much detail is in those books compared to this. But either way, Aquaman shows up to save them from this island exploding, and then he and Batman go up. And Aquaman is like, this island is so close to Atlantis and why is it so close to our shores, and how can you do this behind my back? And Batman says, yeah, well, if I told you everything I knew about what you had in your kingdom, then you wouldn't be asking me that. And then he gestures to the ship following them in the background from Lady Blackhawk. The Blackhawks are like a secret organization, basically just operating from the shadows. They used to be like the good guys, like fighting in the Second World War and stuff like that. Either way, then we jump to Mogo, where Ganthet, one of the Guardians, is giving Hal Jordan a mission to go find out what is wrong on Earth. There's something wrong with the planet, and it's like a secret. He needs to keep it secret from the rest of anyone he is friends with, especially the other Green Lanterns. So he's like, oh, okay, so it's here. He didn't know it was in Wayne Manor with Bruce Wayne. So he goes to the Batcave, and then Duke Thomas, which I've talked about before, he tries to beat Green Lantern up, and Green Lantern just picks him up and says, okay, that's enough of that. And Duke is like, I thought yellow, willpower didn't work on yellow. He's like, well, only if you know how to use it. And then Green Lantern, he scans the cave looking for an entranceway that Ganthet told him about, and then he goes there. And then we skip to another scene. The thing you'll realize about the story is that it's very jumbled in the beginning, because it throws you directly into it. So like if you know a lot of these characters, it's fine. But if you don't, it'll be very jarring for a new reader, which is why one of my criticisms of this book, it's not user friendly. So like if you're not a long time reader of this book, you'll be kind of annoyed and be like, oh, what's happening? Okay, well, Batman's doing this and Green Lantern's doing this. What the hell? And who's this character now? Now here they show you Duke Thomas's mother. Duke Thomas's mother was attacked with a Joker toxin, which makes her like crazy and laughing all the time. And yeah, you see like it's like secret organization talking about what's happening with the planet, and Batman shouldn't do this alone. It's a job for the Immortal Men, and this guy is called the Immortal Man. He's an old 60s comics book character. These are all like new characters, I imagine, because I've never seen them before. And then they are hatching their own scheme with this whole metal business, because there's essentially what they're trying to explain to you is that Hawkman here, this is Hawkman, the Carter Hall, the metal that he got from space, from that alien race, is basically influencing everything in the DC universe to a certain degree. And he's like writing his logs and about all of his past lives, because he was cursed by this like magician dude here to live all these lives with his wife Shaira. So he's like almost immortal as well, but he just gets reincarnated every now and then, every few centuries or every generation or so. And then what he saw was this vision of Batman using or finding the metal, and this nightmare world where Batman rules, and so much death and destruction caused by him. So he wakes up and he looks at his mace, which is also basically made of Thanagarian nth metal. That's NTH metal. So we skip back. This artwork is done by Jim Lee, just as the previous page was. This page here, and this is Andy Kubert again. See, the thing you can see in this book already is that there's so many artists on it for a reason, because Andy Kubert and Jim Lee, they're both long-time comic book artists, but they're getting old now, so they need to get some guys to fill in for each other, so they help each other. Then you get the third artist on this book. We get Batman going to the Batcave on the moon. He's got his own moon cave, which is very cool. And then he meets another character here called Mr. Terrific. Now, Mr. Terrific is also a character that came back around in the 1940s. But this is the new guy who took over for the old guy. He's been around for a while. He's actually a very good diversity character, as it were. He took over, I think, at least almost 20 years ago now, with Jeff Johns, who really made him like popular. And he's one of those characters who stuck around because he's actually a very good character. He has a lot of depth to him. And if there's anything like one of the successful like transfers of a superhero's legacy, it's Mr. Terrific here. Now, basically, they're discussing because he's from another world. He's from Earth 2. There's like two planets here. It's normal Earth where Batman's from, and then this Earth where Mr. Terrific is from. Basically, they explain to you here that there is another Earth, and these two Earths are in contact with one another, especially Batman, apparently. And they are dealing with this problem with both the Earths being like in trouble from this like weird radiation or whatever. And then you skip to this page, which is a page that goes all the way back to a book called Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is the sequel to the Dark Knight Returns, where Plastic Man was like held in suspension like this because he became too dangerous at some point. Now they're basically setting him free to help them with the investigation. And we continue here with Hal Jordan talking with Duke Thomas. And then a disembodied voice starts talking to them, telling them about all the stuff Batman has come across in his investigation of the what's wrong with the Earth's core. And you see all these like images being shown to them. You know, Wonder Woman's bracelets, Aquaman's trident, Dr. Fate's helmet. Even Hal Jordan's ring is like acting very strange. And also, this disembodied voice shows that they have that Batman had a team to investigate this thing way back already, which is also very strange. But it's like he's had like multiple teams throughout the years, and then this one has never been mentioned ever, and it's news to all of his friends here. And then this embodied voice mentions like certain things like Dionysium, which is important to Batman and Joker in the New 52 run. And as you can see here, Hal Jordan's getting annoyed. He just wants to get out of here. His ring's acting weird. He says, "Oh, let's leave before something goes wrong." And then the disembodied voice calls him a coward and says, "Just open the door and see what happens." So as that's going on, Carter Hall continues his like little diary entry. And as you see here, you showcase all these like glowing artifacts, the ship in the background. All these artifacts have like nth metal in them, and like that's what he discovered. Is like no matter what, he'll find out what the metal means and what it'll do to people and to the world. Then you see Batman go here to the Fortress of Solitude to meet Superman, because he has a room that he asked Superman to give him so he can put something in it, and he told him not ever to look in there. So then Superman said, "Well, yes, obviously I trusted you." And then basically he says, "Well, I'm going to go down there. I'll ask you for your help if I need it. I'm just want to make sure what it is before I ask for help." So he asked, because Batman was so clever, he didn't want anyone to open up the thing. So the key he had to open it up, he shot into space, into the sun. So he asked Mr. Miracle here to help him open it up, and only Mr. Miracle can open it up because he's like the master escapist or whatever. So there's the giant room that he locked up and shot the key into the sun. So then you get Mr. Miracle opening it up for him, and he's like immediately like annoyed about what he's found in there. And he's like, "Well, are you messing with me? What the fuck did you put in there? Come on, dude." And he's like, Batman is like, "Just get out of here. I can handle it. Don't worry." And then he boom tubes away. Well, when I talk about this scene, is that you can see like this face expression here. That is Jim Lee just phoning it in, because he was obviously rushed to do this job. And that is some of the stuff I have to point out, because I hate that. I hate when an artist is just rushing and to finish. Especially when he only has a certain number of pages to do. It's really fucking annoying. But anyway, then you skip to this. Now this machine is a very important machine to like one of the first big events in DC's history, called Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's shown up multiple times. It's come back in Infinite Crisis, and I I don't think it has come back since then, really. But this event is basically like a tuning fork. Basically, it's a key to the entire multiverse. So if you turn it on, you should be able to see multiple Earths from multiple dimensions. Now, a lot of people will not know this. That's also another thing that not a lot of people will know buying this today. If you haven't been a fan of DC Comics for a long time, you won't know what this is. Which is why it was important for them to, make it look epic and cool and stuff. But also to kind of explain to you what it was. But I imagine that will happen in the second issue, because this is only the first part of a 2-issue prelude, basically. So then, Batman says to start the vibrational thing to kind of see what's happening. He wants to see what's in the dark, or whatever, in the dark universe, as it were. And then this is a cool image. This is one of the images I have to give the Jim Lee credit for. It looks very cool. So then, basically, they open the door in the Batcave, Duke and Hal, and then they find the Joker scribbling on a wall, basically like doing mathematical equations or whatever. And then you have this cool reveal of like Joker being in the fucking Batcave all this time for some reason, and you don't know why. And it's obviously doing some math or whatever. And basically, this last bubble here, Carter, Hall, Hawkman tells them, don't figure out the mystery of the metals and shit like that. See now, this is not a good start for anyone to get into. How can I say? Get into Scott Snyder's run on the Batman character, but it is a good tribute to people who've been buying Batman since Scott Snyder has been writing the character. So if you've been following from the beginning, this is like a good payoff. But for a new reader, I think it's very hard to get into. But it does have some cool moments and some cool stuff that happens in it. So yeah, it's very hard for me. I recommend it because I just like the story and the characters and where this is all leading. But I will add more when the next issue comes out. I will review that as well. And then Dark Knight's Metal when that also starts. But let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys. Bye.